The Trump derangement syndrome is unbelievable, and it needs to be pointed out again how similar this is to, you know, the beginning of the war on terror. George Bush going, "You're either with us or you're against us." Okay, so I'm not allowed to criticize Democrats. Otherwise, you're gonna call me a fucking Trump supporter? Like, this makes literally no sense, man. Democrats gave the world Trump. Again, not just through decades of neoliberal policies, but the Pied Piper strategy. Hillary Clinton fucking picked him out. Go read the emails. She picked him out. It's her fault. It's not hyperbole. It's literally their fault. And then they enabled him his entire tenure. They gave him whatever he wanted. They didn't criticize him on empire. They didn't impeach him for wars. They didn't do anything about the nepotism, the emoluments clause, profiting while in office. And then at the last minute, we're supposed to believe that all of these Democrats suddenly are, oh my God, the republic is imperiled. The foundation of our democracy is in danger. And if you criticize us, that means you're a Trump supporter. This is just like, oh, if you criticize the war in Iraq, you support Saddam. If you criticize the invasion of Afghanistan, you're an Al-Qaeda sympathizer. What the fuck? What? Once again, man, I have way more reasons to despise Trump as a Syrian. The guy's putting sanctions on us, killing our economy. You got breadlines, people starving. He's stealing our fucking oil and bragging about it. We're keeping the oil. And the asshole goes and recognizes the occupied Golan Heights as Syrian, the Syrian occupied Golan Heights as Israeli, like as if it's his land. And then he moves the embassy to Jerusalem, which again, all of these things violate international law and the UN resolutions after 67. And then he goes and bombs Syria and 2018 over these lies about chemical weapons. I have way more reasons to hate Trump. Okay. So the fact that you have people coming around and then as soon as you criticize the Democrats and you criticize, they're fucking bending over backwards and giving him whatever he wanted for the last years, and their lack of consistency and their disproportionate response, calling for a domestic terrorism law to be implemented, deplatforming people now. I mean, here, tech overlords in Silicon Valley, do whatever you like. Oh, that makes you a Trump supporter now. Really? This is a mental disease, man. This is Trump derangement syndrome. This is unbelievable. And it's just like the beginning of the war on terror. Oh, if you say anything against what we're trying to do here, that means you're with the other side. You're a Nazi. Well, back then you're with Al-Qaeda, and now it's, oh, you're a Nazi. You're a white supremacist. The fuck? I'm speechless. Really. They got some fucking stones, these people, man. They really do. They got some fucking stones. And the thing is how their entire foreign policy is white supremacy. When you go and invade other countries and you subjugate people of color to decades of occupation and you steal their resources and you murder them and dehumanize them with impunity, this is the most potent, highest form of white supremacy you could possibly enact and carry out. And America does this all the time, as well as the United Kingdom, right? So how are you going to say you're fighting white supremacy, but then you don't care about white supremacy when it's being done by your own government in other countries? You don't care about white supremacy when Joe Biden was working with segregationists, when he was pushing this crime bill, putting scores of young black men in jail, devastating communities of color? They're full of shit. They only care about white supremacy and fascism when it suits them. But when their colleagues do it, right, they turn the other way. How am I supposed to take these people seriously, man? Like, be consistent. Fight against all of the white supremacy. Fight against all of this, incitement of violence and insurrections, domestically and abroad. So yeah, the Trump derangement syndrome is really crazy, man.